Making friends is something that kids do naturally, but as we age, it can be more difficult. Over 50% of men under 30 say they struggle to make close friendships. I've lived in 8 countries now as an adult, and every country and city that I moved to, I've had to make new friends, and as a result, I've found it easier and easier to do. 12% of people have 0 close friends, and that number has quadrupled since 1990. 27% have 3 to 5 close friends. 21% of people have only 1 or 2 close friends. So if you feel like making friends is harder than it used to be, you're not alone. But the good news is, it's absolutely possible to make friends. And so my tips for making friends as an adult starts with meeting people. That can happen in 2 ways. You can either approach people or you can get people to approach you. How do you get people to approach you? I think the first way to do that is to provide value. You can do that by being interesting. Wear an interesting jacket or a shirt that brings people to you. You can maybe host an event. Using websites like meetup.com, you can either host an event or join an event that is already been organized in your city. I host events here in Lisbon, and through that, I've met so many friends. And finally, you can maybe write an article or a tweet or write on social media things that get people into you. One of my best friends in London, I've met through an article that I wrote. He found me online and we became friends through that. Getting people to approach you is probably the easier way, but you can also approach people. My favorite way of doing it is to simply ask questions, such as where's the best coffee shop around here? If you're not sure maybe where to go, where the metro station is, you just go up to someone and say, hey, do you know where the nearest metro station is? And then you get talking that way. Secondly, you can just give a compliment. If you see someone wearing a great jacket or a nice hat, you can say, hey, I like your hat. Where did you get that from? And you can start a conversation. And when you give a compliment, people are naturally open and happy and enthusiastic. And so you're already forming that bond there. And then the final way is just by asking someone to help you. If someone helps you, they automatically have a connection there. So you can say to someone, would you mind taking a selfie for me? And then you can say, oh, you're a great photographer, you should be a professional. And then you start a connection there, and maybe it leads to something else. How many close friends would you say each of you had?
I live with my two best friends, so they are like the two close friends.
There may be 2 or 3 people I would talk to about personal problems.
Closest friends, maybe 2 or 3, I think.
5.
Okay.
But when I have a problem, maybe I speak to 2 of them, and my sister always, and my mother. Yeah.
In Brazil, I have at least 10 people that I'm really close.
1.
Really? Yeah. I feel like people have less and less close friends now. I don't know if it was COVID or if it's just society is changing.
Definitely society is changing. I don't think COVID has anything to do with it. But there's not a lot of people, everyone's different, so if you find that person, just hold on to them.
There's a distinction between my friends I had at home, so in my home country in the Netherlands, which are friends that I met most of them in high school or first years of university, which I guess are maybe 2 or 3 that I could really go to with that sort of problems. And then here, I've only been here for 5 months by now, 4 months. Actual people where I go to with my problems would only will be 1 or 2.
I'm lucky because I'm with them all of my days during a week.
What about yourself? How many close friends would you say you had?
5, 6 friends. Guilherme is one of them.
I would say about 10
Okay.
at least. We are Brazilians, we are from South America, and here in Portugal, basically my best friends are from the south of Brazil as well.
Even though you're living in a different country, how do you keep that connection going?
Maybe by the social media, we share videos, photos.
Have time for them, not just ask. Having time for asking, not just for they're outside, but they're inside. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Here, I have a lot of friends, a lot of different friends, but they are not that deep from the friendship that I used to have in Brazil. Of course, I met these people when I was a teenager. Now I am a grown-up.
People you go through difficult times with. Imagine they got ill, or imagine there was an accident, and then you go through that with them. Maybe you help them, or you pick them up when they have an accident. Bad luck moments are what builds a friendship as well, because then you realize you can count on those people. If you just have good times, that doesn't build character, I don't think, or the friendship.
Sometimes you're like with a friend in a situation where you tell them about it because it just arrived, the message or something like that. I don't distinguish too much between friends. I can talk to like with them about like deep topics, and friends that I cannot talk with them.
I had anorexia like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and it's in that times that where you can see the real friends, the true friendship.
It's possible to create new friends. I did 30 about 2 years ago, and I create new friends. I don't know if they are going to stay for the rest of my life.
In the UK, we have this pub culture, and so I think after a few pints of beer, it becomes easier to talk about your feelings. But I don't think that's necessarily a healthy way of doing it. I think the younger generation is definitely more. They have more tools at their disposal. They go to therapy as well, for example. They're more open to doing it, but I still don't think it's happening enough.
I see your point, but I think it's actually getting better and better because the problem is more present now in society.
Do you think the Portuguese culture is what makes it more likely to have more close friends? I feel like there's a very solid social connection here in Portugal. You have the terraces where everyone meets up. The sport is very important. Family and friends, I feel like is very
really close to each other. We always meet up like all the time when you have time. Yeah, I think we are really connected.
Yeah.
We are in a small country, a small town.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other, so it's so easy to meet someone and be with your friends.
Every great friendship starts with a small moment. Ask a question to start a conversation and see where that leads.
And guys, don't forget to subscribe. Props. Listen.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you, guys.